Welcome back, everyone. Hope you are doing well and do practice all the steps which you had done in the previous lessons. And in the last tutorial, I have told you that we're going to build some quiz module by JavaScript and jQuery. But before that, what I am thinking that we are going to make one to-do list app like this one. And what the functionality of it, let's just take a look at this application. If I just click enter, one to-do list is added, then another one. I can delete any of them. If I delete all, then I have then again the option to add your first to-do, and again if I add another one, this adding first to-do has gone. So we're going to make this one by the core JavaScript, and also there is a function to make it completed. Yeah, so these are cool things. So let's just make it, and let's see how we can make it. Okay, so at first what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a folder called projects, and inside it I'm going to create another folder, to-do list, and let's add a file over there. Go index.html, and let's start building our application. So at first write the basic HTML part of the website, and body, just close it. Okay, so at first what I'm going to do, I'm going to wrap up everything inside the body into a class called container, and after that what I can do, this is a logo kind of thing. So for now I'm going to make a header part of it. So let's just call this d1 header, and let's just name it header info. Okay, because this is not the basic header, and inside it add your to-do list. We're going to make similar kind of this application. Maybe our CSS will be quite different from them, because we can make this some other structure as well. Let's see how we can make it. So this is header info one, and after that I'll be creating our area for our form. So let's just wrap it once again with a div, and I'm going to add a class of it called to-do from wrapper. Okay, and then I can add a from, and inside the form let's just delete the accent, and let me add a class over here and name it a to-do from, and there will be an input type of text, and its name would be to-do item, and class would be to-do item, and also there will be a placeholder, add your to-do. Okay. Let's see how it looks. Currently it is showing like this boring way, but we'll do the CSS later on this class, so let's just focus on it. So after doing this one, I'm going to add a submit button as well, because I don't want to hit enter. So instead of doing enter, I'm going to add a submit button in my project, and it will be button type of submit, and I'm going to name it as add, and also I'm going to add the class over here, and it will be to submit. Okay, also our link, let's just add a new folder for CSS, and suppose I create it in the wrong location, so just create inside this Todo one CSS, and then a JS folder. Inside this JS folder, I'm going to write index.js, and inside the CSS, I'm going to write custom. Let's add this time style.css, because many of the developers use style.css naming convention. Someone is using custom.css naming convention, but I prefer custom.css because the style.css is for the CMS one, and actually it is already predefined by any CMS or any framework. So, but in this case, we don't have any CMS or any framework, so let's just add that one as style.css, but I need to link it. So it will be CSS. Look, if I just place the, let's see once again, okay, link and then CSS, look, this ID is also giving me style.css because it is already predefined by every ID as well, because every CMS or any kind of third-party packages, everyone is using this same naming convention like style.css. Okay, so in my case it will be under CSS folder. So also now this time I will write a comment as well, end of container. I need to add the link. Let's just add it header at first. I know it's not going to be work if I add it header, but also you need to see the difference why I need to put this script tag after my HTML. Let's add it in head tag as first, type of text and JavaScript, and it will be src of js/index.js. Okay, so at first let's write something in index.js. Okay, so if I just view this page, I know what I need to do at first. At least if I click on the add button, I need to get the value whatever I have been written in this box. Now if I press enter, or if I just click on the add to button, then if you see the page has been refreshed and the URL has been changed, and it is now showing to-do item A, because this is wrapped up by the from tag and it has a name of to-do item. Let's just change the to-do item name over here. Okay, so this is a basic concept and of from. So if I just change the name, and let's start the project once again by refreshing the page and delete everything from the parameter AA, and now you can see this is the name which have been provided in the input. Okay, so this name is important if we are sending the data to another page, or we can also get the data by the name as well. We don't need to put the class or ID over here. If I just only place the name attribute over there, I can also get the data. Okay, so we will see everything later on. Let's just focus with the class as well, so the things will not be complicated. So at the index.js, at first we need to stop reloading the page whenever I click the add button. Okay, you can say the submit button. So what I need to do, at first I need to add the event listener on this from submit. Okay, but if you see, I didn't use any ID in this project. So how we can fetch this from or this button or this input? So we're going to see another method in JavaScript. Let's just get started. Okay, so this is a from. So let's just reference the from one at first. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to add a variable. Also, instead of doing var this time, I'm going to use late. Okay, and late to do from equal to. So there is a minor difference between late and var, and that is actually the scope difference. So late and var has a scope difference. Late can only be work within the loop, but the var should work throughout the program. So the data can be changed outside of the loop as well. So instead of using var in the later on this project, we are using late this time. Okay, so now documents, this document we need to call every time whenever we are doing JavaScript, because this document is actually giving the DOM object. So document is really needed every time. And then we'll do another method called query selector. And inside query selector, I can first whatever the area I'm going to find. This is a from of class to from. So I need to first the to from, and also I need to provide dot here as it is a class. If it was an ID, then we need to provide hash over here. Okay, then we need to do one more step, to from dot add event listener, and in this event listener I'm going to call the event of submit. There is almost 5 to 6 common events in JavaScript, like on click, like submit, like on hover, mouse over, key place, key up, key down, and many more. Okay, so let's just focus on this submit one for this one, because it is submit event, because the form is submitting. So we are using submit method for this one. Also, this event listener has one more argument as well, that is a function. And inside this function, what I'm going to do, I'm going to prevent this form being reloaded. So how we can do it? This function can have a parameter, and I can add the parameter as e. Okay, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to call this e, and I'm going to call the prevent default method. Okay, so it is going to prevent the default functionality of the from. Okay, let's see if it is still refreshing the page or not. Yeah, it is still refreshing the page. You know why? Because if I just go to the console, then I will see a one error over there. Yeah, cannot read property of add event listener, because okay, before calling the form or the button, the JS file is already loaded, so it has some missing. of this class, so it cannot call the event listener over here. So what I can do, I can just move the script tag in the bottom and just refresh the page, and if I do this time, there is no error. Also, the page is not reloading. Let's just delete this parameter from URL, and now it is not reloading. So what next I need to do, I just need to get this value of this input box whenever I press the add button. Okay, so what we can do, we can call the input area by this class. Okay, so let's just add a comment over here. Pre-made form submit. Okay, now I need to call the form, the input text value over here. So to do name, that's one, like this way we have written. Yeah, it is to do item. Let's just name it as to do name, and then document dot query selector, and I'm going to pass this one. If you see in this tutorial, instead of writing the value in one element, I am breaking into two parts. At first, I just get the reference of that element, and then I'm going to call the property of it. Okay, so in this time I need the property value over here. So also let's just use let name equal to do dot value. Okay, and let's just console it. Let's see if it's working or not. So if I just write a, and in the console I find the a, also if I write 444, and it also give me 444. Okay, so whatever I am writing, I can get it. Okay, so if I just delete everything over here and just hit the add button, it is also showing me the blank one. But as you see, we have only one element to add the to-do list. We cannot provide blank to be submitted. Okay, so we need to add some logic over here. So what I can do, I can just trim this name variable. Okay, so if I trim it, it will remove the space over here. Okay, if name dot trim not equal to blank, then I'm going to console it. Okay, so I just reverse the condition. So if it is not blank, then so at first add a and ca, then another a, another a, and if I just remove everything and add, now you can see nothing is showing in the console. So in this lesson, at least we did some part of this project. We created a form over here, and also we get the value of the form, and also it cannot be blank, and also we change the submit type of the form by the prevent default. So in this tutorial we done everything by query selected, and this is also another method instead of writing document.getElement by id, okay, which we did in the previous some lessons. In the next lesson we are going to push this data into another variable, and after that we need to show that in the Tom 11 as well. Okay, I'm really excited for the next session. Please do practice this one for now, and if you're facing any kind of issue, please do comment below. I will try to solve it as soon as possible. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe my channel to get further notification. Stay safe, stay healthy. Bye bye.